page, I talk about the calculus. The next page talk about the calculus of the good life. It can be achieved by solving the following simultaneous equations. Okay? So this is a this is a pseudo-scientific formula. As a way to stupid thinking, okay? But the question is that how to maximize satisfaction, how to maximize utility, how to maximize the worth of your life. Well, in order to answer that question, you have to solve a whole bunch of equations. They're all related. This is not just one thing, okay? So in order to answer the question about how to live the good life, how to live a life worth living, you have to solve the following equations simultaneously, okay? The formula A, what you are. You have to solve this equation about who are you? Who are you? What do you have? What's your strength, your weakness, your personality, you know, who you are, what you have, and your present circumstances. Okay? Your family's demand on you, your situation, your financial situation. You have to start with where you are. To start living meaningfully, you have to be able to learn to work with what you have, right? You can't say, oh, I can't really start living my life I want until I get A and B. No, you can start where you are. You can say, oh, I wait until I got married, I wait until this happened. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out, right? You can start the first step towards your ideal life where you are. If I wait for things to come, everything to happen, for the star to align correctly, for everything to happen, I will never accomplish anything. I'll be able to continue to make progress in my old age as a cancer survivor. Without grant support, I can still write, do research, move forward, because I buy into philosophy that I can always do something with what I have. Can very little, doesn't matter. Yeah. D, what is cherished dream? What are your core values? What the life goals? You find that out, right? And we'll discover that when you complete the exercise, that will help you understand a little bit about what you really want, what really matters in your life. You know the little question there? Okay. P. What is the right path? Today we go to church, or we went to church. The usual way down Valley Parkway is blocked because
Marathons.
Huh?
Marathons.
Yeah.
The cyclists.
So we have to depend on GPS, alternative way there. There are different pathways. There are always different ways to get to where you want.
Yeah.
Now here's the trick. Do you choose the broad way or the narrow way? The broad way of expediency, compromise. You know, the way of cheating your way to the top. Or the narrow way, the straight and narrow way of being ethical, honest, and hard. No choice, right? You want to choose the quick way, shortcut, or the honest way, right? So, this is something you confront the choice all the time, at work. students cheat, you know. Many students cheat. I cheated when I was a student. Maybe just once. Did I cheat? I think I cheated once, you know. I forgot which course, you know. Oh, maybe high school, yeah, I cheated once. Yeah. Everybody cheated. You know, it's amazing how many students have cheated, you know. Plagiarism, the papers, right? Or cheat, you know, like run an exam. You know. I cheated one in high school, I think. Maybe high school. It came out, sorry for that. So, or, you know, do you want to cheat or you want to be honest? You know your goal now, right? But how do you get there? And also need to know what kind of opportunity do you have. Sometimes you have to knock on doors, you don't wait for opportunity to knock on your door. So I often comfort myself, I say, well, keep on knocking, all you need is one door open, right? God open the right door for me, right? Oh, it's one right door. You see, you can knock on many doors before one door open. And also, you need to know your resources. Now, here's the question. Do you need God to live a meaningful life? Do you need God to recover from addiction? Now, recently there's a big debate in Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, 12 step. God is front and center in 12 step. You know, like, acknowledge to God your failure, and then some people say, well, we don't need God to recover from addiction. So they want to delete all the references to God from 12 steps. And everywhere I go to speak about meaning, there are always some people asking me the question, can you live a meaningful life without God? And one time I was, there's a documentary movie about death and dying. The interviewer also asked me the question, can you have a meaningful life without God? Okay. So I say, sure, you can. But you'll be deprived of major resources. You'll be deprived of something. You'll not be able to experience full meaning. Because for people without believing in God, there's no future after death. There's no hope after death. That by itself deprives you of hope, of meaning, right? I mean, you work so hard, when you die, somebody will take over your possessions, your wealth, and you'll be forgotten. So then why do you struggle? Nobody remembers you anymore. You just disappeared, just a blip on the screen. So you can ask yourself, I said, do I believe in something that give me hope, that provide an anchor that holds in the storms of life, that provide a foundation that never shake? You ask yourself that question, okay? Or will be obstacles. So when you move from A to D, there are always obstacles and opposition and failures. Do you have the resilience or the coping skill to overcome? So my wife and I just completing a paper on resilience, okay? Because some people, some children, they were born into poverty, broken family, living in a very violent neighborhood, but they're able to turn out okay. These are resilient children. Okay? And to be able to achieve your dream, you need to build resilient. How resilient are you? How tough you are? Whatever does not kill you will make you stronger, right? Franco said that. And the Bible also says that tribulation, right, lead to perseverance. Perseverance leads to character. Right? So suffering has an important role to play. You know, I can't imagine a life without suffering, without stress. And X will be X factor. X factor means things that are unpredictable, extreme factors. They don't know. You have to always be prepared for surprises. Right? You never know what will happen to you. You never know what tomorrow holds. So here's the equation. Okay? Now, these equations actually provide a checklist, a roadmap of all the things you need to find answer before you can answer the question, how to live a worthy life. Every equation has some checkpoints. Right? So this provides a checklist. You can ask yourself, do you have all the answers to all the equations? Hopefully, at the end of the course, you'll be able to answer those questions. Okay. Now, the last part is the exercise we work on. Now, this exercise is important. I'm telling you why it's important. Because it tells you, it lets you understand what's your ultimate concern, what's your primary objective in life, right? And understand for yourself, why do I choose that? So if you haven't done that, you can do it now. It only takes you 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Yeah.
This is a good time. If you want to stretch, you could have some Chinese green tea and then have some.